A silent wind moves through Fraser's ridge. But something feels wrong. A presence is missing. A heartbeat the ridge depends on has vanished, and every shadow whispers the same question. Where is Claire Fraser? Mist hangs low over the land as the sun rises, touching the ridge with a pale, cold light. Season 8 begins not with peace but with an emptiness that settles deep into every home. The people move quietly, as if afraid to disturb a wound that has not yet healed. Claire's disappearance has turned the ridge into a place of unanswered prayers. Jamie stands on the hill each morning, staring into the woods, holding on to hope even as days slip by with no sign of her. But the story doesn't open with Jamie this time. Instead, the camera slowly follows Henry, now older, sharper, and more aware of the secrets this land holds. He walks through the quiet woods with attention he cannot shake. Every broken branch, every distant echo reminds him of the night Claire vanished. The ridge taught him many things growing up, but nothing prepared him for the silence that followed her absence. He feels it in his bones, something is still out there, something unfinished. As he returns to the house, he notices the way people avoid asking questions, the way they look to Jamie for strength he barely has left. Henry senses the weight of responsibility drift toward him, almost like the ridge itself is calling him to step forward. The season begins not with answers, but with a feeling Claire is gone, but her story is not over. And Henry is the one who feels it first. The whispers around the ridge hint that the forest is holding secrets again, the same way it did years ago when time itself pulled Claire away. Little does Henry know, the path ahead will lead him into a mystery more dangerous than anyone expects. And the first clue is closer than he thinks. The next morning, the ridge feels different. It is quiet in a way that doesn't feel natural. Henry senses it before he even steps outside. Something has shifted. As he walks through the yard, he notices a thin trail of leaves crushed into the dirt, as if someone moved silently through the night. He kneels down, studies the tracks, and feels a pulse of unease. They don't match Jamie's boots, and they don't belong to anyone in the house. The pattern looks rushed, unsteady, almost like someone was trying to hide their own path but failed later. Near the old barn, Henry makes a discovery that stops him cold. A small metal tool lies half buried in the soil. It's bent, dirt-covered, but still familiar, one of Claire's medical instruments. His heart jumps. There's no reason for it to be here. Claire always kept her tools clean, packed, and carefully guarded. For something like this to be thrown aside, something must have happened. And recently. Henry doesn't tell Jamie. He can't, not yet. Jamie is hanging by a thread, and Henry fears giving him hope too soon might be worse than saying nothing at all. So Henry decides to follow the trail on his own. He walks deeper into the trees, guided by small signs that seem almost placed for him. A torn piece of fabric caught on a branch. A page from Claire's journal pressed into the mud, still readable despite the rain. The writing is shaky, as if done in fear. A single sentence sends a shiver through him. Someone is watching. I must keep moving. Henry realizes Claire wasn't simply taken, she was running from something. But who or what? Whispers from the villagers only make his mind race faster. Some claim they saw a woman walking through the trees at night. Others swear they heard a voice calling out for help but were too afraid to follow. Rumors rise like ghosts, each one more chilling than the last. Henry's fear grows, but so does his determination. The clues are leading him somewhere. Claire is closer than anyone dares to believe. And whatever forced her into hiding is still out there, waiting in the dark, leaving Henry no choice but to push forward. Even if the truth is more dangerous than he imagined, Henry wakes before dawn, driven by a feeling he cannot explain. The clues from the day before cling to his thoughts like a storm he can't outrun. Claire's journal page, the scattered tools, the whispers in the woods, every piece points him deeper into the forest. So he follows the feeling, letting instinct take the lead. The morning air is sharp and cold, the kind that cuts through silence like a warning. As he moves through the trees, birds stop singing and the forest grows still, as if holding its breath. The trail leads him to a place he doesn't recognize. It's farther than he expected, deeper than he has ever gone alone. A narrow path appears between thick branches, almost hidden, as though someone tried to erase it. Henry steps carefully, each sound amplified by the quiet around him. Then he sees it, a faint glow flickering through the darkness. A lantern. Not old, not abandoned. Lit, his pulse quickens. No one from the ridge would be here. Not at this hour. He approaches the small wooden cabin revealed by the light. It looks wrong, too new to be part of the old forest, yet too damaged to have been built recently. The windows are covered from the inside, the door slightly cracked open. Henry hesitates, sensing danger, but something stronger pushes him forward. He steps in, slow, breath held. The sight inside freezes him. Scattered herbs, empty vials, torn cloth stained at the edges, signs of someone trying to treat wounds in a hurry. A small fire burns low in the corner, and over it hangs a pot with tools being sterilized. Tools Henry knows all too well. Claire's tools. Before he can call out, he hears movement. Soft, labored breathing. A shadow shifts behind the table. Henry takes a step closer, and everything in him stops. Claire stands there, pale and exhausted, leaning against the wall for strength. Her hair is messy, her hands trembling, her eyes filled with a fear he has never seen in her before. "Claire?" His voice cracks. She looks up, shock and relief mixing across her face, but she doesn't smile. Instead, she grabs his wrist with surprising force and whispers words that send chills down his spine. "Henry? You shouldn't have come. He's coming for Jamie, and time is breaking." The lantern flickers violently, as if reacting to her warning. And in that moment, Henry realizes finding Claire is only the beginning. The real danger is already on its way. The cabin feels too small for the weight of Claire's warning. Henry can still feel her grip on his wrist, cold, urgent, trembling with fear she's trying hard to hide. She moves toward the window, peeking through a small crack as if expecting someone to appear at any moment. The forest outside looks peaceful, but Claire's eyes say the opposite. Whatever she escaped from is still out there, following her steps, growing closer with every heartbeat. Henry tries to speak, but Claire cuts him off with a simple shake of her head. "There isn't time," she whispers. "I crossed paths with someone who shouldn't exist in this century. Someone who knows who Jamie is?" Her voice breaks for the first time. "And he's not after me, Henry. He wants Jamie because Jamie's life is tied to the timeline in ways none of us understood." Henry feels a deep chill. He always knew Claire held secrets about the stones, the passage of time, the dangers she faced across centuries, but this is different. This is bigger than any story she ever told by the fire. This sounds like an enemy who understands the rules of time better than Claire herself. The camera pulls back slightly as Claire struggles to gather her strength. She places a hand on her chest as if steadying her heartbeat. "I was forced to run," she continues. "He knows how to track people like me. Time travelers. He's been searching for years. And he's close, Henry, too close." Henry's thoughts jump to Jamie instantly, Jamie, who has already suffered more than anyone should. The idea of a stranger targeting him because of time itself twists Henry's stomach. "We need to warn him," he says, but Claire steps forward quickly, shaking her head again. "No, if he knows I'm alive, he'll come straight here." And that's exactly what this man wants. She looks directly into Henry's eyes, her voice low but firm. "We need to control the timeline before he reaches the ridge. Jamie must not act on emotion." "Not yet." Outside, thunder rumbles faintly through the forest, even though the sky is clear. The wind rises, shaking the cabin walls, almost as if the world is reacting to the danger Claire is describing. She turns toward the lantern, its flame flickering wildly. "Time is shifting," she murmurs. And every shift brings him closer. The screen fades to black just as Claire whispers one final line. "Tell Jamie." Time has brought me back, but not alone. Cut to the Outlander Season 8 title card as the music swells, promising a season filled with danger, love, and a battle against forces far beyond the ridge.